I'm going to talk about something that I almost never talk about in general, but definitely not on this app. I'm going to show you behind the scenes of being a content creator. I know it can sound a little navel-gazy to talk about analytics and views and that kind of stuff, and it really is not something that I look at that often unless something abnormal has happened, because it's not what I base what I do on social media off of. But I think it's important to see behind the scenes of something that I saw over the weekend to let you know how bot campaigns are formed and how they seem to people with larger platforms. Now, I say this because I am one of the people with a larger platform on sort of the Canadian news political area side of TikTok. I have almost 200,000 followers. I have for a full year now, and I have watched different waves come and go. And I will say there's two activities that I often see. And one is genuine people who have hooked onto a talking point. Usually it's like MAGA people. Trump has made some sort of a speech and they run with his talking point. Something's come out on Fox News, that kind of stuff. And you see similar sentiments coming out. Not the exact same thing, but there's sort of a talking point that's being shared. Those are fairly easy to recognize as being from real people, and also I can usually trace it back to a speech that's happened, something that's gone on in the news cycle. So that I can sort of monitor, and I can block people that I don't want to interact with. That's fairly easy. But what happened to me on Saturday was extremely abnormal. So this is a little peek behind what I see, and it shows obviously how many views any video gets. People can see this all the time, and I'm going to talk about this video right below here, the one that has 244,000 views currently. I took these screenshots last night, but when you look at I posted this video at 2 a.m. on January 3rd, so Saturday. It had gotten 9,000 likes, 875 comments, and that's after I blocked and deleted a bunch of them, to be honest. Just a lot of engagement, but the timeline is specific. If you look at this line down below, look how it goes straight up and then straight back down. Now this was immediately after I had posted. I posted around 2 a.m. I went to bed a little later, woke up in the morning, and I had 130,000 views on one video. Not saying that hasn't happened before, but it was quite strange. And the strange part is I was looking at the traffic coming in, and it consistently was getting 600 views every 2 minutes, like clockwork, 4 hours. This went on 4 hours. And the comments that I were getting, it was immediately clear that these were bots. Definitely some of them were people. Some of them were comments like this that were people. This was on a different video. But then I was also getting this. All of these comments came in, and there was tons of them in the exact same minute. All different users, all talking about the same book. But overwhelmingly what I saw was the same couple of comments. Trump is a liberator. Maduro is a head of a drug cartel. The Venezuelan people are dancing and singing in the streets. Over and over and over. And it was like verbatim comments. I was seeing it on this platform. I was seeing it on Threads. A lot of people had reported seeing the same kind of things over and over and over. And the strangest part, though, was it started at 2 a.m. and it went up for 24 hours and then it stopped. And I don't mean like my traffic stopped, people are still watching the video. I mean like the comments stopped. That talking point disappeared. And I had been pretty rigorous about blocking the bots, which I usually am because my friend Bailey always talks about blocking the bots for democracy. But I like to keep things clean and block as many as I can. This is unusual behavior. I have seen this before. Like I said, for the last year, I have monitored a lot of these trends. I used to even do reports on the bots and what they were talking about, because when you have a larger platform and you're getting huge amounts of input of data and you can watch to see how these trends are cycling, I have seen these kind of attacks before. I have, especially around the Canadian election time, they would come out and it would be verbatim the exact same talking points. Same spelling mistakes sometimes. Like you see the same trending message, but they always have the same spelling mistakes in them, which is a really key way. Or they use very unusual language that we wouldn't use in everyday speech, and that's another way to spot them. And then last night, we started getting reports in from people on the ground in Venezuela. We started having reports like this that was talking about the Cuban officials who were killed. The death toll ranges depending on your news source right now. I've seen numbers between 80 and 90 people. That could change. But the initial thing that we saw online when the news was breaking in the middle of the night was tons and tons and tons of bots telling us how happy the Venezuelan people were. And then after that first 24-hour period, when news, like when journalists were there and people were being interviewed on the ground, we started to see a much more realistic picture. Now, the reason that I am sharing all of this is not to tell you I'm some important person in Canadian TikTok. I am not. I just think that it is incumbent on people with a larger platform on any social media site to be sharing this kind of behind the scenes, specifically about the infiltration of AI and bots, because it's going to be very difficult. It's already very difficult to tell when news breaks if any AI is involved in false videos, false reports. People are getting tricked all the time. So that is something we already have to watch out for, is looking for primary sources. But the other thing is we then have all of these sort of bot campaigns who are also influencing what we feel. And I'm not saying that there aren't actual people who were maybe celebrating. I'm saying that there is also a very specific and targeted online campaign that is going on, not just with this, but with other issues. And so if you do have a way to see this in your own results and you want to share it with other people so that they might be able to get a little peek behind the scenes, I think that's really important for democracy and just around the world with what's going on right now. So that's why I've decided to share it. I hope that helps some people. If you were seeing these trends in your comments, you were not alone. This was happening all over the place. So just something to be more aware of. If I do see other trends like this pop up again, and or if anybody has any questions, please let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do about answering them. You'll also see videos just transparently when I come out and I say, like, Americans are saying blah, 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 blah. Please know that I'm meaning actual Americans. Like, when I'm commenting on people who are angry that Canada's not coming to save them, or they are frustrated when Canadians get mad at them, these are like when I see hundreds of comments and I actually go to their pages, I look to make sure they're an actual person. They're not a bot campaign. There is a different way. It's like a different rhythm that you can tell the difference between people who are just haters or angry or something that's going on in the zeitgeist and these very specific robotic kind of campaigns. So do with that what you will, but I just thought that I would come on here and share a little sort of insight from my lens, because I know that not everybody is. It's weird to talk about analytics. It's not my forte. It's also not something I really pay attention to at all, unless it's to do with safety. So in that instance, I thought that I would share. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will try to answer them for you.